Hi everyone, welcome to the Gods Enchantments channel. I am Claire and this is the first day of our 12 days of crystals. So every day for the next 12 days you're going to be getting a video from me, and it ends on Christmas Eve. We're going to look at a different crystal every single day, learn about its correspondences, how to work with it. So if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and the bell next to it so you are notified every day when a new video goes live. You can also go to the description in the drop down below this video and find a link to my closed Facebook group where we have crystal treasure events where you get to actually buy these beautiful one-off pieces that I show you. I do full moon videos, new moon videos, ritual videos, all sorts of things over in that group. So hopefully you will come over and join us. So today we're going to be talking about Lemurians, which are found in Brazil. Originally they were from just two main mines in Brazil. But since then it's been discovered the vein that they actually grow in, because crystals grow in veins throughout Earth, which is why they open up crystal pockets as they go into the vein, and you get different crystals, different pockets, different looks, different inclusions. And that vein they've actually been tracing along, so they've been mining further up in Brazil as well. But it is the home of the Lemurian crystals themselves. So we'll have a quick look at them, then I'm going to explain way more about them and everything in a minute. But you want to see some crystals when we get into the video, right? So this is a polished Lemurian generator. So unbelievably beautiful. In this one, oh, moving my hand helps. Let's get me out of the way so it'll focus. This actual one is really, really rare. It's the only one with my supplier. I go there in person. It's a small supplier. They run from a showroom at their house. You can learn way more about that over in my group or on the website. And this one has code all on the inside and hieroglyphs. It is exceptionally rare to find. It's a really beautiful example, and this is an example of a Lemurian that has been polished. It is freestanding and a lovely large size. Then your traditional Lemurians would be unpolished. It's like this one, which again has a flat base, can be used as a generator. And you can see, let's get a good angle here, shall we? Where's the best side to show you with the light of the winter in the UK? There we go. See these lines? You've got vertical lines running across there. This one also has coding on it as well, and hieroglyphs. These lines are what Lemurians are traditionally associated with. And each bar is said to hold different code and messages. So let's talk a bit about what Lemurian means. So there are two, I mean, obviously there's going to be more in between, but there's two main schools of thought on Lemurian crystals. There are those that have worked with the energy and believe in an actual Lemurian civilization, an early civilization that was far more advanced than all of us. But when their civilization came to an end, that they actually encoded specific crystals, Lemurians with the bars on, with their knowledge, their wisdom, their information for us to uncover later when digging, when humanity was ready to actually open up to that information and wisdom, and to help us progress and advance spiritually. Then there are those that believe that Lemurians aren't necessarily associated with the Lemurian civilization, but instead they are true keepers of ancient civilizations as a whole, and were programmed by one or many ancient civilizations to hold information again for when we as society and humanity get to a place that we're going to be open to that wisdom, that we are ready to advance to the next level spiritually. So neither way is right or wrong. It just depends on how you work with the piece and what you personally believe around it. But either way, whatever your belief around Lemurian crystals, there is no doubt in anyone's mind that they are powerful. The quartz that, obviously Lemurians are quartz, the quartz is of a very high grade when it comes to Lemurians. You don't get lower grades. It's always beautiful, beautiful quality. You can have it unpolished with the lines or polished without the lines. And it used to be thought that if the lines had been polished off, that you could not access it, because a traditional way to work with a Lemurian crystal that has the lines is to actually go into journey space or meditation and run your thumb along those lines to connect in with them. However, as the years have gone by, people that work with the crystals have realized that that wisdom, that marker in a sense, is there to tell us this is Lemurian, but that wisdom does not get wiped away by actually polishing the crystal itself, and you can still access it in the same way, simply running your thumb up and down the crystal, and you can choose different places on the crystal. It still holds those energy and opening points. It's very much personal preference. A lot of people have both. They'll have a kind of more rougher piece that has the lines, and then they'll have the pieces that are polished. For example, on my altar back there at the moment, I have a stunning Lemurian sphere. If you follow me on Instagram or our Facebook page or Facebook group, you will have seen that and the rainbows in that. The work I've been able to do has been incredible. I actually have a couple of those for next year. So amazing. So what do we work with Lemurians for? Firstly and foremost, spiritual advancement. So if you want to advance your spiritual practice, especially in the way of understanding humanity more, of understanding how we can help the earth more, of understanding how we can open ourselves up more to spiritual energy and raise ourselves to new heights, raise our vibration and the vibration as a whole around us, then a Lemurian is a really key tool for that. If you are someone that likes to meditate or journey with your crystals, a Lemurian is going to give you a very intense experience. You are going to be going in, and there is so much information in there and so much code. And the extra ones that have the hieroglyphs and the extra coding in, I mean, this is warm all the time. It is freezing cold here in the UK at the moment. Everyone's got their heating on day and night. There's blankets and everything, although I'm quite hot-blooded, so my husband's wrapped up like you know what. But this particular piece is constantly warm because it is so full of energy and code and wants to be worked with. Just me holding it starts to open it. A lot of people think that it's really, really hard to work with these crystals. How do I open them? How do I work with them? These crystals want to impart their wisdom to you. So if you find a Lemurian crystal that calls to you, then that would be the one for you. So it doesn't matter if you're buying online, it doesn't matter if you're buying in person, always buy from a reputable supplier. They need to have trace of their crystals, because there are ways that they can put lines on crystals. There are crystals that look like they have Lemurian lines, but they're actually not, because lines are quite common on quartz from all locations, but the lines have a different feel and a different energy to them. So source very carefully when purchasing your crystal. But because they really, really want to work with you and they really want to open up that code and that energy, The main thing you want to make sure that you do is that you are starting from a grounded position. And how to work with these is through meditation and journey work. That's how you access the code. So sitting, holding your peace, and just allowing yourself to really open up, allow the upper chakras to open. Again, if you've got lines, you can rub against the lines. If not, you can simply hold and rub along your crystal, or just hold it in your hands. And allow it to open up which lines it wants to you. Because obviously, if you want to focus on an area, you can. But if you want, you can also ask the crystal to show you the wisdom to open you up to the code that you personally need at this particular time. So they're really important spiritual advancement pieces. Now, the other ways to work with them is in grids. Now, in a grid, they are obviously going to have the effect of quartz. They are going to magnify every other crystal within your grid. But because of the way they're encoded and because they carry such beautiful light energy, there's a lot of white light in there, they're going to really elevate your grid work. So grids to do with your spiritual path, grids that are for specific deities, if you have a matron or a patron deity, if you are working on emotional, physical healing, past life healing, these would be crystals you would want to grid with, that you would want to have on your altar. And use, because a generator all the time is sending energy up and over. It's like a fountain of energy. So if you cleanse, charge, or program this piece and place it on your altar, it's always going to be working. You are never in your lifetime going to get to the end of the code in one of these pieces. Even the really, really small pieces have so much wisdom and coding in them. And if you ask it, because you don't want to get flooded if you're new to working with Lemurians, you can ask that crystal to open up slowly to you. And like I said, to give you the information that's most pertinent to you at the time. It's almost like when you do a card a day reading, you can work with a Lemurian in a very similar way, working with it and just opening up one area each day or every week, whenever it is you sit down and you do your spiritual work, that you want to take time to work with your crystals. But they're all about raising your vibration, spirituality. They're really amazing for healing this life, past lives, sending healing down your entire line. If you want to open yourself up more psychically and do more psychic work, then again, a Lemurian is a really powerful tool for you to work with. It has all the correspondences of quartz. So like, you could use it as your master healer, you can use it as your magnifier for your rituals. It's super powerful for rituals, and you can actually charge your other crystals around it. You can charge candles around Lemurians. The energy is really easy to transfer. If you have a double terminated wand, you can take your Lemurian and say you've got a beautiful candle that you're going to dedicate to your spiritual work or to a specific deity. You can actually transfer energy from one to the other, so that you're transferring some of this really, really high vibration energy into your candle. They are very powerful tools to have. I always say, have, at least one in your collection. Experience the energy, see if it's for you. Get what works for you. If you feel that you want one with the lines, go for one with the lines. I'm really enjoying the polished at the moment, because it really does allow you to see. For example, if this had all of its lines down it, I wouldn't see the coding and the hieroglyphs on the inside of this piece. So I wouldn't be able to work with it at its fullest and know what I'm accessing when. So this is my personal favorite at the moment, especially as at the Lemurian mines we are seeing Lemurians with rutile in them, even lodolite in them. There's some stunning pieces I have downstairs that I can't wait to show you. So I hope this has been an enjoyable video for you, learning a bit more about Lemurian crystals. One thing I would like to say as an end point to this, we have been talking about the original Lemurians from Brazil, actual Lemurians. Since then, there's been a ton of trademarking of Lemurian calcites and Lemurian this, Lemurian that. That's all trademark stuff. And there's not been any direct really correlation with this kind of Lemurian work. So if you want to explore that further, you can go back on my channel and I have a video about trademarked crystals where I talk a bit about Lemurians and the extended Lemurian family in there. But here we've been talking about the pure, like from source Lemurian crystals. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of our 12 days of crystals. That is it from me. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up and come join our group. Blessed be.